Hi Aries, welcome to your August 2018 monthly readings. These are a bit later. I don't know why I'm always late with Aries, especially Aries. Like, that's not the sign that you want to make wait. Or, anyways, you guys, hopefully everybody's having a fantastic month and everybody's doing well. So I premeditated and shuffled the cards. I'm gonna start with they're like nature's healing type cards. So they have to do with like trees and flowers and vegetables, that type of thing. Um, so your card was chickpeas, and I believe Cancer got this. Don't quote me on that, but somebody else did get it. And chickpeas are based on the simplicity of life. Okay, so it's a sign for you guys to enjoy the simple things in life. So it's not overcomplicating things this month. It's really getting down to things making your life more simplistic. Okay, because you're at your best when when things are simpler. If that makes sense. It's also good for like if you've suffered for any like paralysis or inflammation, that type of thing. If you're recovering from something like that, chickpeas are really good for that. Um, I forget whose reading it came up for, but when it came up, I had a craving for hummus, which I thought it was hysterical. I did fulfill that craving. Uh, but again, it's so really it's talking about not overcomplicating things this month. All right. So um, when it comes to your family and stuff like that, when you're like concerned about them, it's saying that really what they need is time. If you have kids or your spouse, your loved ones, all they really need is your time. They don't need your money, they need time with you. So it's like going out and playing a, fun game of soccer. It's not about things that cost money. All right? It's about like, even going to the YMCA pool. It could be going for walks and hikes with the family, if you got animals, walking the dogs together, cooking dinner together as a whole, as a family. So it's like, making pizza dough yourself at home, and then, you got all the toppings, or even tacos if you want to do tacos, like those were always fun nights when I was a kid. My mom's an Aries. But it's like letting, like the kids put everything together themselves. That's why making your own pizza, it's fun for, the husband and wife, like barbecues, family barbecues. All right, so little get-togethers in the backyard, that type of thing. What do they call that? A potluck dinner. The simple things, getting back to the basic. Okay, so you have the Four of Pentacles that came out. This is like, okay, one, this is being like holding on to your money. All right, like, so you want to, the message I'm getting to, like, for you guys is like simplifying your life and like budgeting. Okay, so that means like you're not buying the expensive things. You don't need anything fancy. You need basics. Like, if your basics are covered, then you have nothing to worry about. Like, it there's a need to hold on to your money here for a rainy day. Okay, but there's also like, if you're having problems within the family and stuff like that, okay, family comes in many forms. For some people, their family are the friends, okay, it's in a relationship base, okay, and when I deal with relationships, it's an overall energy, all right? I used to say that all the time. For the first couple of years, I'm sure it annoyed people, but overall, in relationships come in many forms, right? They're your family members, so like your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your, relationships come in the form of friendships. It could be teacher relationships, student-teacher relationships, bosses, coworkers. Those are all some sort of form of a relationship, okay? So there's something you're holding on to, like a grudge, that you kind of need to let go, okay? And it's about your security. So my concern here is you don't want to get yourself into a fear-based mindset, okay? Because when you're in a fear-based mindset, you don't really act appropriately. So you want to take your time with decisions that you're going to make, it's saying. Oh, you got some extra cards that came out. So you have the King of Wands. That's a great energy, you guys. You have the Four of Swords. And then you have the Strength card. It was an extra card that came out, okay? So what I'm getting is you're really going to have to tame, Aries, you're really going to have to tame, because we're in Leo season, and I'm not sure planetarily. Years ago I used to keep really up to date with astrology. I just don't have the time for it these days. I should get back into that. But I like the Leo energy maybe pulling through quite hard for you guys. As in, like, because it is one of your cousin signs, so you're feeling it, and you're feeling this like rush to move forward. Okay, my concern is it's not even a rush to move forward. It's just like acting too quickly without thinking about long-term consequences. Okay, so but what I'm getting in your reading is that you're going to have um, the strength to tame your willpower here, to like hold back a little bit here, okay? Because like Aries, I get this a lot for you guys. Pushing forward too much may get you sick. Like you need some downtime and some rest time, and with the simple things in life, okay? Um, there is a sense here that you need to close something out that you've been holding on to, like a grudge. Okay, I do feel like if this is work related, something at work is happening, that you want to ensure, and I am getting fear based, that you're not acting out of fear. So this is like a month to let things play out, and not to overthink things or overcomplicate things, because you're just gonna uh, pull yourself down to a negative level that you really don't want to get at. Okay, like. Um, This is a very action-oriented time for you, though, okay? It's not saying, like, just sit at home and eat bonbons. That's not that type of energy. This is a very creative time for you guys. So this is, like, a time, though, to step back. Those ambitions, those dreams, those goals, those things that you want to pull into your life. So that means, like, if you want a new job, you want to change the foundation in your relationship or something like that, smooth things out. You want more family time. It's talking about think things through. Don't just think and act. Okay, so it's like you want. Hopefully, I'm describing this properly. It's like you want to think about how you're going to approach that before you actually do it. Okay, so it's like you want the family to get together. It's talking about simplicity. Okay, so it's like instead of going out for fancy dinner, it's talking about getting them to come over for a little potluck dinner. Okay, and that takes a little bit of planning. That's not going to be okay. We're doing this right away. Like it's you need a heads up for that, right? So, in like going back towards, if you have goals, ambitions, like going back to school, upgrading yourself, getting a new job, it's talking about not taking the steps to actually get that new job right away. It's talking about like doing the research and development into it. So looking into, okay, this is my goal. Say if I want, to own this type of business, you want to research the city rules. What's it going to take for you to, how much finances you want to break down, like the cost of stuff like that. Like before you actually go ahead and purchase like the property for whatever type of business you want. So in like if you wanted to go to school or upgrade your course, because this doesn't matter how old you are, okay, you guys, I always talk about how age shouldn't be a restriction on you upgrading yourself and getting a new education. Okay, like, and it can be hard for some people. Some people are dwell on, oh, I'm so old, like I can't go back. you know for me, I guess it came down to nurture nature. My father, even my mother, when she was in her 30s, she went back to school. My father's always gone back to school at some point, like he was 60 when he went back to get upgraded. So, just because technology's moving and he wanted to stay in the loop, shall we say, right? So if you want to go back to school or something like that, you also want to do research on the program, okay? And then you want to research like how you're going to schedule that in to your life, okay? You want to research how you're going to afford that, what kind of student loans are available. The different types of schools might offer different types of programs for the same course that you want. So you want to research which one more suits you. Like you don't want to just go gung ho into something, but you do want to take action in a more methodical, analytical way. It's saying, okay, and you want to ponder things, okay. But it is saying to take action, just not in the action that you may be used to. Hopefully that makes sense, you guys. Okay. So these readings are going to be a little bit shorter. So what you need to know is, like, don't hold on to things, okay? What you need to show is action, and that you've, like, closed the door out to the old. You need to be your beautiful, optimistic magician self, okay? Aries is the magician. They can create anything they want, and, like, you're going to have a high manifestation power within you, as you always do, but you want to ensure that you're well, how can I say it? Very thorough in what you want, okay? You do need some downtime, like, to rest and recoup. There's, like, a spiritual thing happening here, all right? So you may need time to see the signs, the synchronicities, and the symbols, you know, like when you're thinking about, is this the right way to go? You want to look for signs and symbols and synchronicities, all right? Like, you do have some strong, this could be somebody that passed away. It is coming up as a masculine figure, so it could be an older brother, if you had a brother that passed away, a grandfather, uh, somebody that was very charismatic, and they care about you a lot. And that's funny that I say that, because we have Judgment here, if you see the card. It's a highly spiritual card, especially in this deck. I do love this deck. There's an ascension happening here, okay? So when ascension happens, you do need a time to recoup, okay, and receive the downloads, if you will, all right? Because just because you receive, like, information doesn't mean you're getting the proper information. You may need some time for clarity, okay? But don't overthink things or overcomplicate things by holding on, okay? You have the King of Pentacles. Okay, so that's a very grounded energy. Okay, so if you have a spouse, they may be very your spouse, whether male or female, may be very set on taking action to ground things. So, like, they're really focused on more practicality. They would like to spend more time with you, it seems like, because you have a rest and recoup happening here. So you may need to have, like, a little getaway with your partner, okay? Even if it's just a day trip. It is talking about fun, though, right? Because the King of Wands, he's quite fun, okay? And Aries can be quite fun. They're very action oriented. Okay, so there's times where you need to accept your partner's energy, and then times when your partner needs to accept your energy. There has to be a middle ground here, okay? Judgment's about second chances as well, and it is about letting things go. I'm really getting that. Letting things go, okay? Like, go with the flow here. Let things naturally happen. If there's some things that you're holding on to, you may need to express it, okay? Or your partner may need to express it. You really got to listen. It's a informative time for you guys. It may be, like I said, it's a high manifestation power you got happening here. So this is like definitely a time to observe. Like, listen to your partner's ideas. You have the Page of Swords here. Okay, so some of you that have children, you have a Page of Swords child, so it doesn't have to be air sign child, which would be a Gemini. I was going to say Aries. A Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. It doesn't matter your age. If you're like, my mom's 53, I'm 33, but, I could come across as a page because it's my mother, right? Even though I'm an adult. And when you're an adult, you actually do digress to children, I find, when you're around your parents, like, but you could have a child. This child doesn't have to be an air sign because it's a cheetah, right? So cheetah could be like anybody, a Leo, action oriented. So it would be either an air sign or a fire sign child because they're action oriented. Okay, and you see the hairs like brushing in the wind, like this is like you got like a gypsy child here. So a little more of a free spirit. The beach will be really nice for you guys. So even like having a beach barbecue, getting together, going down by the beach, free things, simple things, okay? Your children could really enjoy that. Like you may, if you do have children, they may need to get out, um, outdoors more so. You could have a child that has strong air in their chart, so it's important for them to get fresh air. And then some of you may have a water child that's too much up in their head. They could be depressed a little bit, and they need to get more outdoors. All right, they're cooped up a little bit too much. So what I'm getting is like they need to experience a little more. And there's, like people have their own opinions and stereotypes about the specific signs, like the queen or king of pentacles, the queen or king of wands, what type of parents they are. I had an Aries, like my mom's an Aries, and I like she was loving, she was nurturing, but she was fun. I always felt like I was more of the nun of the family. Because there was like even when I was a young kid, I would always be telling my mom like, you shouldn't be letting my brother and sister do that. They shouldn't be eating that for breakfast. You know what I mean? Where like they're fun parents, but they they're strict too, right? They know when to put boundaries up with their children. Like so you may need to be your fun self, like spontaneous. Okay? When you're spontaneous, it comes in like good clean fun. All right? Like that's what I'm trying to get at here. You do have a child that needs to get more outdoors, and this may be referring to you, okay? Like if you're not getting enough sleep or rest, and I go through this a lot with you guys, Aries, you have the Knight of Pentacles here on the bottom of the deck. So again, I just lost my train of thought there. But this is like, again, you need to be very grounded and practical, okay? And this is coming across, it's not a king, it's not a queen, it's not a page. So this is the student energy of where you need to learn new skills. So being practical, being grounded, it's slower, more methodical. Okay, you're going to be in a learning phase of some sort. Research and development is highly important. This person's also a realist. Okay, so you need to be realistic about things here. And because he's holding the pentacle, you need to be realistic about your finances. Okay, my concern is if you haven't rested enough, or maybe you have a child, somebody in your life, if you're not getting enough rest, one, you're going to get sick, you're going to get overwhelmed, but two, you're going to be very moody and your communication is going to be very immature. So this is like, generally speaking, it happens more so in families, right? Because with families, they're close knit and they know each other quite a bit. So it's like when you get moody because you're tired, so you're going to be snappy. Little things are going to set you off. So when that starts happening, okay, then you like you need to get a little more rest. Okay, so all work and no play, Aries, makes you very cranky. Okay. Also, if you're cooped up and you're not exploring and going out and having fun and doing new things, well then, that's also going to make you a little cranky. Okay, so if you get too much into your head, things are unclear to you, you're overwhelmed. Okay, get outside, go for a hike, clear the mind. All right, you'll get your clarity that way. Some of you, I don't know why church is coming through. Okay, there's a church here. It could be somebody, I'm seeing a woman. I'm seeing a woman in a church. So I don't know what that stands for. But I'm also getting like as like ascension. Okay, so there's a woman that, and this may not even be you. Okay, so it could have been either a funeral or um she was feminine. So she wore like dresses. She was quite feminine. I don't know. Maybe she's the one that's in the spirit realm. Okay, that is like gonna guide you to take actions in some manner. Okay, I am seeing like a church though, and I can see like it's like a cathedral church. So maybe some of you are planning a wedding or something like that, and you're gonna be getting married in a church. Some of you, it could be a man that's in the spirit realm that is giving you going to give you earthly signs and signals. All right, so it's almost like spirit's going to be putting the left turning signal on for you, or the right turning signal on for you. You're going to get synchronicities, okay, from the spiritual realm. And some of you are going through a manifestation, or not a manifestation, and like an ascension phase, and that can be quite traumatic if it's your first experience, or like it can be overwhelming. Your energies, I'm like, there's jittery energy happening here, so it can get you not paranoid. You need to be more grounded. So if you're feeling like more jittery and stuff like that, just outside in nature is really going to do you some goodness. Some of you may be trying to get like a new fitness regime happening, and this is saying about simplicity. You don't need to be going to the gym and doing all these like hardcore workouts and stuff. You just need to be grounded and simplify things. So that means like going swimming in the ocean. That's actually a really good workout. Paddleboarding in the ocean, really good workout. You're having fun. You're doing it with friends and family. Okay, so you can get your workouts in, and they're actually twice as more productive as it would be doing it indoors at a gym. Okay, like nothing beats Mother Nature. Okay, and Mother Nature's unpredictable. The terrain's unpredictable, so your body and your muscles have memory in them. And due to Mother Nature being unpredictable, your body, when you go to a gym, eventually builds up a tolerance to what you're doing. And because Mother Nature is terrain is different everywhere you go, and it is unpredictable, your body never builds up that tolerance towards it, if that makes sense. Okay, it is a very family oriented time for you. It is saying close the door to what's no longer serving you, get rid of those negative thoughts, have a clear mindset, go out into nature to get your clarity. Okay, watch for signs and symbols, as in like animals that come up, like you may have a new idea. You need to rest on it though. Okay, don't move too quickly. Think about things. Don't let people get into your head either. You may have some haters around you that are just trying to stir the pot. You got to take on the masculine energy of like letting things go. This means you don't need to talk back to them because you're going to give them what they want. All right, you don't want to do that. Don't allow them to be energetically sucking you dry or making your emotions fluctuate. Okay, you got to be like a tree with your roots firm in the ground here. All right, you guys, hopefully this helped you out. Namaste. I will talk to you later for September. Ciao for now. Talk to you next month.